All right, welcome to episode 135. Woo! But this is season 4. Season 4 is coming to an end, right? All right, episode 135. My FX buddies, I'm back. I don't even think it's 24 hours. Yes, I'm a little happy. I'm going to say this is one of those ones where you might want to uh, refer to the blog. You might want to print this article out, learn it, especially if you're newer to this. All right, so I won't spend too much time. Let's see. My FX Buddies, the blog is myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, rss.com, myfxbuddies for a transcript, rumble.com for video, myfxbuddies, spotify.com for video and audio, myfxbuddies. What else? Apple Podcasts, myfxbuddies. Just everywhere, anywhere. myfxbuddies. All right. So it's over. The curfew's over. I'm feeling pretty good. The news cycle is back. Um. But it's Friday, and Fridays are normally slow days anyway. But and you can see right here, it is Friday, November 22nd, 2024. Ooh, don't like that. I need you to. Okay, I forgot I have to be real still. Sorry. No, I don't know how to edit, so y'all just have to hear all that. Okay, dollar-dinar exchange rate gap, causes and treatments. So, this is purely citizen education. This guy, um, he's a doctor, so a PhD in finance, right? He's Iraqi. I don't know why his picture didn't show. And let me see. If I click that, nothing's going to happen. But anyway, if you want to see him, he has like 4 names. His first name is Haytham. Anyway, yeah, so brilliant. So, um, it's I would say this is maybe junior high level reading, okay? But still, that's all the more reason to print it out and read it and learn it because it's not only about the Iraqi economy, it covers a little bit of global economy and just economy in general. Iraq relies in its monetary policy to monitor the change in the value of its dinar against the dollar on a fixed exchange rate peg system. Rate peg system. So there's quite a bit of talk out there in dinar land by the gurus, right? That this is the next stage. Well, that's what we're looking for is the dinar to unpeg. I personally don't think that's going to happen. However, um, I'm just a Bachelor of Science degree holder. Anyway, so as the overall policy aims to reduce the gap between the official and actual exchange rates and stabilize it close to the target exchange rate, which would curb inflation, stimulate markets, commercial, financial, and investment transactions, and stimulate growth. So we need all of that in Iraq, right? Actually, the global economy needs all of that. But anyway, so I'm not going to read this whole thing because it could be boring. But you need to read it, understand it, especially if you're going to be a multi-millionaire post this event. Um, you really need to learn about finance and stuff like that, right? Okay. Let's see. So he goes on and he's talking about um what affects purchasing power. Okay, so I'm not going over there. He talks about the GDP. Iraq's GDP depends heavily on oil. He doesn't say petrodollar, he says oil dollar and non-oil dollar, right? So go down here. So I have a couple of sections bolded, and one section is in blue. It looks purple to me, but I think it's blue. All right, but here's another. So during periods of economic recession or when oil prices fall, the gap increases significantly, the gap of the dinar dollar value, right? When the government is unable to provide an adequate supply of dollars in the official window for buying and selling dollars. In such cases, traders are forced to search for alternatives through the parallel market, which exacerbates price pressures on the weakest groups. So, if you listen to episode 133, I was saying how they can't get rid of the auctions without changing the rate because they have to pump. That's how they keep a balance, right, of the rate, the parallel market rate now, is by the amount of dollars they inject into the economy. So there, he's a doctor, he's a PhD, right? So you won't listen to me. I'm not talking about you guys that listen. I appreciate you. You're very kind and respectful. But there's people, because I'm just little on me and I don't have a team of people and I'm not a guru, people don't believe what I say. And there's a man who's Iraqi and I'm sure he's rich and he's saying the same thing. All right, let's see. So here, this part, he's just talking about trade and border crossings and dollar smuggling, and that affects everything also. So this part, let's see. Here he's talking about the reason. So because of smuggling and the non-sanctioned sanctions, right? He says right here, sanctions that affect a third of Iraqi banks. But we're told by the U.S. Treasury there's no sanctions on Iraqi banks, right? But so he's saying they have a low credit rating because of those things. So because of those things, there's a limited amount of correspondent banks they can work with. But if they correct that, then they could correct that. All right, so this part is in blue. This has already happened. This is history. This is showing how they have devalued, changed the value, devalued again. All right, so you want to read that. And here they talk about how in 2024, the dollar dinar market, parallel market rate was exceeded 1,500 dinars. So then he goes down and there's some steps here. These like 1, 2, 3, 4. To me, those should be numbered 1 to whatever. But like I said, he's a PhD. I'm not. So, um, these things, these first items here, these are done already. Reforming the structuring of the banking system, check, right? And they're in the middle, right? But it's mostly done. It's done enough for them to change the rate, in my opinion, but I think so. Developing tools for targeting inflation and exchange rate, done, right? Implementing solid reforms in the financial monetary sectors to enhance the flexibility of blah, 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 done. So I think we're in the middle of these two parts right here. Coordinating between fiscal and monetary policies, right? And economic policy should enhance transparency in all financial and banking operations. And they are doing that. They're being, especially with all this citizen education that's happening, right? And they try to be very transparent with the 2024 budget. And what happened? Someone in the halls of parliament manipulated the budget schedule. So when they get that corrected, if they can get that corrected, then that'll be done. So then he just says what they need to continue doing to build confidence between local and foreign investors. yeah, so that's a really good article. Hopefully, one of many to come. And that's what prompted this podcast. So, since I did that, there were some other little articles here that could go. Economists, government should exploit rising oil prices and implement sound financial management. So, this is Rashad, whatever, Al Sadi. He was like, because of everything that's going on with these two countries and what's going on in our region, oil could go down. And oil's high right now. So we need to get all we can get right now and benefit from that, right? And then use sound management of the money that we have. I mean, like, duh, right? But yeah, so interesting that he would say that. I mean, they should already know that. Why does he need to point that out, right? Okay, so here, Parliament resumes sessions next week. So we'll see if they do. And their main focus is this general amnesty law and this personal status law. So nothing we care about. And then look at this little bit right here. There is nothing new regarding the 2025 budget schedules, and we are waiting for them to arrive from the government. And I've been saying I think they're probably done, but Sadani's holding off on sending them because he doesn't want them to get manipulated either. All right, here, this is an interesting article. It's more positive than negative about the new incoming administration. Iraqi government. This guy right here, he is like the I call him the mouthpiece. I forget the name. Government speaker. The government speaker, I think. So he gets to speak for Sadani, right? Whatever is coming out of his mouth has been approved by Sadani. They probably have had prior discussions, right? So he's being interviewed. It's also big, but I didn't have time yet. I'm sorry, I just can't sit still and I keep messing with this. I hope you can't hear all that noise. Okay. Um there's a video, but it's in Arabic, but I'll translate it. But YouTube's translator is awful, right? But if I find out that what they put in this article is not what he actually says in the video, then I'll post it tomorrow. But so if there's no post, then you can feel confident that what's in this article is actually what this guy said. So you might want to read this. Did I say the title? Iraqi government to the news. We must adapt to the new political situation in the United States. And so we know who the new political situation is, right? Indicating it is the duty of the Iraqi government to adapt to these governments and coordinate with them in order to protect the interests of the Iraqi people. And then he goes on to say there's fear among the people, but these are mostly presumptive analysis that go back to the first time. So don't worry, because it was one way the first time, it may not be the same way the second time. So I think that's they're trying to be positive, right? So I wanted to post that. Then here, protecting Iraq is an American duty. Security agreements are not just ink on paper. So I briefly touched on that in episode 133, and then lo and behold, here's an article about it. So if you want to read that, you can. All right. And I like this. I like this. Whoever attacks Iraq will pay the price. This is he's a member of parliament. Iraq is a sovereign country, but are they? We control their airspace. We control their oil. We get their oil money before they do. But anyway. They have to appear, right? They have to appear to be a sovereign country. Iraq is a sovereign country, and an attack on any of its cities and towns is a sinful aggression, and Baghdad will not hesitate to respond, and the aggressor will pay the price. Woo! All right. Oh, and then the picture didn't come. Well, whatever. Um, it's well here. Baghdad's phone does not stop with Iran and the West because the threat of ice cream land has become dangerous. So that Fawad Hussein, who's the foreign minister, he said that there's this Middle East peace forum that's happening, I think, in Kurdistan. Well, it says right here, Dohuk, which I thought that was in Lebanon, but I'm thinking it's in Kurdistan, but who cares, right? But anyway, so the Barzani's there, the new House Speaker, he's there, he's speaking. They're not talking about money or anything, mostly about the seriousness of the current situation, right? And the um, ceasefire, right? So here, then after that, expectations of an elite Iranian delegation arriving in Baghdad, 3 files will be on the table. So it doesn't say exactly when they will, just within the next 72 hours, right? And here's the most notably, you see that? Lebanon, and the 4-letter city starts with a G. And what's going on, the pressuring with the Western countries, including America. So yeah, then there's some things in here that I don't really want to talk about. But yeah, there's lots of stuff going on. There's lots of behind the scenes talks. So let's see. Wouldn't it be nice if there's a major peace agreement announced over the weekend? Yeah, I know. I'm actually thinking positive. But anyway, so it is the weekend. This is short. Like I said, I really just wanted to talk about the article because it's really good, and I'm hoping it's just the first of many. All right, so if I don't post this weekend, enjoy your weekend. No, I'll be enjoying mine. So thank you again. Mm, if there's a like, follow, join, support, whatever those like, follow, join, subscribe button wherever you are listening. Activate that because I don't post regularly. And if all things work as they're supposed to, and you activate that button when I update, you'll be notified. All right, thank you. If I don't communicate with you again, enjoy your weekend. Oh, and accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. All right, now I can say until next time.